Alright, we're live now. Hopefully.
Alright.
Yeah, hello everybody, or whoever the hell is even watching this at this point. Is anyone even on the stream right now? My guess is no. We had a much
Probably
bigger,
not.
we had like a much more lively server last night. Either that or just no one's interested. Well, finals are coming up and all that,
Yeah, for sure.
so everyone might be busy with other things as of now. I do have a backup pre-show if things go south. Don't worry. So we're just gonna wait around a bit. I know a few people that could. Everyone online's like busy, like playing games and all that, except for Harry. But it's probably like extremely late where he is.
He's probably
Oh,
sleeping or
hey,
something.
MJHW is here. We can have you on. Are you even in the Shenanigans Central server? Did I ever send you an invite?
I don't think he's in. You could send him, for sure. Crap.
Let me get your account real quick. All right, yeah. Let me send you the invite to the server real quick. I'm surprised I haven't yet. Honestly, that's more my fault than anything. All right. Two people for Jeopardy isn't ideal, but yeah,
It's manageable.
yeah, manageable. At least we'll have like two people to actually work with.
Like in general.
What's going on?
Toucan server.
Yeah, I saw what Harry posted. Yeah, sorry for the slow start to the stream, everyone. Just sort of getting everything off the ground, cause. Alright, I sent you the invite, MJ. Is there anybody else in chat right now? If you're in chat, say H.
Ooh.
Cause Alright, Frosty, you're here. Uh, okay, so yeah, I'll just work with the YouTube live chat. Alright, we'll have a Dolphin. Alright, Dolphin, Frosty. Oh crap! Sorry, you saw nothing. All right, Dolphin, you get the first pick. We have 5 categories tonight. We have NASCAR, Sonic lore, monster trucks, chain-related events, and the Anything Goes category. Questions will get progressively harder throughout each category. The final and the 500 questions are usually pretty hard. You can't lose
Oh
any
boy.
points, but you are able to gain points.
Okay.
And if you get the question wrong, it could go to someone else that can answer it.
Dang. Alright.
All right, so Dolphin, you're up first. What are you picking?
I'm picking Monster Trucks 100.
What was the last event that Advanced Auto Parts Grinder competed in?
2013.
Specifically, what show?
What show? Ooh. 2013. I'm gonna go. Ah, crap. I'll go MedLife. It's probably not it, but
Nope.
whatever.
Minneapolis show too.
Ah,
Anyone
okay.
else? Ah, crap. I should have just let that one sit. Yeah. I'll do that for the next few, sorry. MJ, if you're in chat, what do you want to go for? All right. NASCAR for how much? All right, NASCAR for 100. What driver made a cameo in an officially licensed NASCAR romance novel? Yeah, I'll do split screen. That'll probably be a bit easier. That's correct. Carl Edwards. I crap, my screen was messing up. There we go. Anyway, Frosty, if you're still in chat, it is your turn to go up. Alright, what is your pick? Oh crap, it's not showing the other screen. Sorry, technical difficulties all around. Alright, now we're working. Alright, anything goes for 100. Wait! Does the Queen have that yacht? Alright, let me actually stream both screens of the Discord. Alright. What's the answer? Does the Queen have that yacht? Man, shut your bitch ass!
Damn.
Alright, Dolphin, you're up now.
Oh boy. NASCAR 200.
Who was the last person to lead every lap in a NASCAR Cup Series race?
Was it Jeff Burton? I think it was Jeff Burton.
That's correct. It was Jeff Burton at the 2000 New Hampshire race. Alright, MJ, your turn. Alright, Sonic Lore for 100. What is the canon name of Sonic's home planet? Don't overthink this one, it's not that hard. Alright, waiting on the answer. Delay's been a big problem the entire stream, I'm sorry. It's Earth. It's literally just Earth. Oh crap, my screen's like bugging out all over the place. Alright, yeah. It's just Earth. Alright, Frosty, you're up next. What are you picking? Alright. What Gravedigger chassis did Adam Anderson drive in Australia this year? This is Frosty's question. It was 39. That was the chassis that Tyler drove last year. Pretty close though. I'm pretty sure 40 is actually a ride truck.
I think 40 could be a ride truck. I'm not quite sure.
All right, Dolphin, you're up next. What are you going for?
Anything goes 200.
What song does the Scout cover and the TF2 doesn't even need auto-tune, man?
shoot, I'm not quite sure. Uh, I don't know.
It was Fireflies by Owl City.
Uh,
I didn't even know that that was the song he was singing, and I just like randomly put it on that song one time, like while I was playing Beam. I just got jump scared by the. I just got jump scared by the chorus. Like, all right, MJ, you're up next. What are you going for? All right. What game will we be streaming on the 27th of this month? This was announced a few days ago. That is correct. Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube.
yeah.
Bring it in, brother. Alright. Thank you, buddy.
I noticed.
Yeah. We're doing Jeopardy.
Better win. It's in the genes. Better
Nice
win.
jeans.
I said it's in the genes. Jeopardy's in your genes.
Oh yeah, my dad was doing that Jeopardy for Comcast because he works there. They had like a Comcast Jeopardy in Florida, and his team made it all the way to the end, and they were invited to the finale in Orlando. All right,
Nice.
next up is Frosty. What category are you going for, and for how much? All right, NASCAR alert for 300. Who won the last NASCAR race without stage cautions? Not without stages, without stage cautions.
Hold up, I'll be right back.
Alright, just so you know, it was a pretty recent race, so. No, it wasn't. It was William Byron at the 2023 Watkins Glen race. Alright, Dolphin, I'm guessing you've moved to YouTube chat while you're gone. Alright. Which two Feld drivers made their debut during the 2010 South of the Border Tour? For your hint, one of these drivers was on the All-Star Challenges Team Fire. The other was on the All-Star Challenges Team Ice. I'll try giving more hints to make sure you guys actually know what the answers are, because I'm only just now realizing that not a lot of you guys would actually know this, because I am quite the walking, talking encyclopedia when it comes to knowledge about this stuff. So another Another thing, one out of the two drivers that are the answer to this question are still driving the day. Hello, person in chat. Hello. We're doing Jeopardy. We're waiting for Dolphin to answer. Alright, he's really thinking hard about this. Alright, I'll give you like one more minute, then we're moving on. Again, your hints were that only one of the two drivers are still driving to this day, and they were both in the 2019 All-Star Challenge on opposing teams. Oh, you got one right, but you missed the other. Scott Buteau and Barry Musauer. All right. MJ, you're up next. You're currently tied with Dolphin for the lead. All right. Who developed the NASCAR game for the Leapster? Your hint is that if you're familiar with Monster Truck games and Monster Jam games, you might be familiar with them. You're right, it was Taurus Games. Taurus Games made the NASCAR Leapster game. They also made the infamous Sonic X Leapster game, too. Alongside that, they of course also made Monster Jam, the 2007 game, and Monster Jam Urban Assault. Alright, Frosty, you're up now. Alright, Sonic for 200. Which franchise crossover event was the only one to get original story mode chapters in Sonic Runners? Your hint is that the game franchise that the crossover was from was featured on the channel very, very recently. Well, MJ just blurted out the answer, so yeah. I'll give the points to Frosty because he didn't give because MJ didn't give him time to answer. But yes, the interesting how the only crossover they had that was from a Japanese exclusive game was the only one to get like an original English story. That was like the most cultural, the most like Puyo Puyo Quest has even shown up in America. And it's regional, actually. Apparently there was like a Sonic crossover with that game too in 2020. Anyway, it's Dolphins' turn to go up. What are you picking? All right. Who drove Mark McDonald's El Toro logo during practice at World Finals 14? Your hint is that they were also a Team Gravedigger driver at the time. Ah, that's wrong. It was Carl Van Horn. Interesting how Carl Van Horn subbed for 2 people that weekend. Alright, MJ, you're up next. You got the lead by a pretty decent margin. What are you going for? Alright. How many shots did Mo fire from his gun when some gangsta was dissing his fly girl? You just hit him with one of these. Oh, hey. You completely missed the middle. He shot 3. You just completely you just boxed yourself in. He shot 3 shots out of his double barrel shotgun, by the way. I'm pretty sure the dance was just a ritual to make that 3rd bullet spawn out of nowhere. Alright, Frosty, you're up. What are you going for? Alright. When did the first ever Toucan Play sign-up series live stream take place? And what was the date? You are allowed to look on Toucan's channel for the date, by the way. It is up there. Alright, while we wait, let's get a live Discord update. Nothing. Anyway. Hello. Yeah, just waiting for, I genuinely don't remember the answer to this question. Also... Oh my god, you were 1 day off! MJ got the right date, but he didn't list the year. And Dolphin coming in listing out the first ever, like, Alright, Dolphin, you're up next. Oh my god, that's right! Cause you're... Oh yeah, cause you're Australian. I didn't take that into account. You were probably right, so I'll just add the score anyway, sorry. Alright, Dolphin going for the 500. How many times has Ryan Priest flipped a race car? Spoiler alert, it is more than 2. Take out the 1 and you would have been right at least 4 times. Yeah, I'm just shocked as you are. How does one man keep doing that? How does one man keep finding ways to flip his car over? One time in like a late model race, he went out of the ballpark, just like full speed into a wall, and he climbed over it. And then the other, and then like another time, like it was like a midget race in like a hockey arena or something, and he somehow was able to flip his car then too. Like, I don't know what they feed him. I don't know like what's going on with the Priest family, but it's nothing good. Anyway, MJ, you're up next. Alright. What game was played during this channel's longest live stream? Your hint, the stream happened sometime this year, and the game that came out was relatively new when we streamed it. Yeah, you're right. Got the name at the end wrong. That's a game that doesn't exist and probably will never exist, but I'll let this one slide because, you know, like, traditional gaming, like... And we've already had so many people get wrong answers tonight anyway. Pancakes! Alright, MJ out to a big lead. Frosty up next. I kind of forgot they were bought up by the Saudis. The Saudis are buying everything these days. There's no escape. Next thing you know, they're gonna buy my piece. They're gonna buy this channel. And we're gonna have to be forced to partake in multiple human rights violations. All right. Long ago at Freedom Hall, a truck hit a wall head-on and left damage in the concrete that can still be seen to this day. What truck was it? Hint: it was also in the first ever 2Cam Plays live stream for the Monster Truck Monday thing. Not the first ever 2Cam Plays Monster Truck. It was in the first sign-up series live stream. No, it was Wild Hair. Alright, Dolphin, you're up next. Getting pretty dry on categories here, so make sure to make a good pick. Alright, channel related events for how much? 400 or 500? Alright, 400. Name one of the 3 drivers tied for the most competition wins in Wagner Jam history. You're hitting all 4 of these drivers. Well, all 3 of these drivers have driven within the past 3 years. And again, you only need to name one. Cody Saucier, Tyler Menninga, and Tom Mentz are all tied for that number 1 spot. Well, I think Weston has 2, and these 3 all have 4 apiece. Once Wagner Jam gets like back to the modern era, I'm pretty sure Weston's gonna get pretty high up on the all-time wins list. All right, MJ, you're up. All right. If I gave Shadow 15 apples, and then Amy gives Shadow another 16, and Tails took away 3, my question is, what's the total mass of the sun? All right, Gage, how's it going?
Alright.
Yeah, we're working on Jeopardy right now.
When that cold brew hits.
You are MJ. You have gotten it. You are incorrect. As Obama told me, it's 3.
That's the Obama.
You figured it out. All right, Frosty, you're up next.
Ooh, new bee monsters.
Yeah, I saw they.
Trailer.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're. I'm surprised they haven't gotten to doing the other chassis. Sir. Oh, this might be my favorite question. How many times has the Sonic franchise referenced JFK's assassination?
What?
Gotta figure out Gotta figure out what design you gotta do for the new Lone Ranger because.
Yeah, Lone Ranger. I think I'm gonna make something myself. Wait, what if your new team's owned by like the Top Gear crew? Oh wait. All right, MG was. Wait, did MJ pick that? All right, MJ was wrong. Frosty still has to answer. All right. Yeah, imagine like your new team for the Toucan series is just owned by the Bottom Gear crew.
The bottom geared crew.
Hello, Jimmy, my fellow object of the Bottom Gear team.
Idiot.
All right, is Dolphin back? All right, I'm waiting for Frosty to get their answer. This is pretty tense. Twice. Once in the Archie comics, where Eggman was like parading around in a convertible in a city, saying how parades always get in an assassination sort of move. And that infamous time in the Fleetway comics, where a unicorn tries to convince Tails to pull out Lee Harvey Oswald. Alright, Dolphin, you're up next.
What do we got? Let's go channel related events. Why not?
What was the exact date of the last event where the Sylvase Garden sponsored Mainframe? For your clue, it was not too long after 2K World Finals 4. It wasn't 2K World Finals 4 itself, but it was a few days after.
Okay, let me figure this out.
Will it be back for season 5?
I have
Hey, he
no
may
idea when
never
2K's
come
coming.
back.
I don't know when 2K's coming back, but all I know is that Wagner Jam's coming back for the 8 Crazy Nights this month on the 29th. So 20
That's gonna
days
be
from
fun.
now.
No
Gage,
way.
you better get ready. It's gonna be ballin'.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there for like the next week. Not playing.
Oh boy, come on, come on.
Again, it's we got a long time before we actually get to this event. Like I think like 2 or 3 weeks until the new Wagner Jam.
We also gotta do the new Lone Ranger in what's it called? Briggs of Rods.
Yeah, I gotta put that new no Lone Ranger.
I
in
gotta
too.
get that game.
Oh!
Ooh,
I'm on.
Yeah,
All
Okay.
right, Dolphin, you got an
the
answer?
Lone Ranger. The Lone
Was it
Ranger
April
secretly
6th?
owned by the bottom.
Oh my God, you were 1 day off.
Ooh,
April 5th.
1 day off.
It was
Oh,
Seattle for It was a Seattle off-season event for Monster Truck Mayhem.
oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure
Dang.
like that night was when like the big ugly breakup happened, and I got extremely angry. Before then, we had already
Dang.
had multiple canonical restraining orders put in place. All right, MJ, you're up next. All right. Is anything truly free? I'll ask again. Is anything ever truly free? I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if that's correct or not, but you already have such a big lead anyway that you basically won this. Let's continue. All right, Frosty. This is the last one before Final Jeopardy. Both of them are in Sonic lore. All right. When was the last time someone said the word hell in an official piece of Sonic media? You don't need to do the exact date, you just need to do the year. Just clicking things around until we get an answer. 2 years off. It was literally this year. Because I'm pretty sure it might have happened. It could have happened in a more recent issue, but the Flash in the second issue of the DC and Sonic crossover comic, He straight up says the word hell. One thing I want to mention is that like in official pieces of Sonic media like that have been localized in the U.S. There are like 10-year gaps between each instance. First off, we have of course Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow was swearing up a storm in that game. Then we have Zaz literally telling everyone that he's gonna send them all to hell in Sonic Runners, and then we have the Flash saying it in the recent DC Sonic comics. Mainly because they had a higher age rating due to the whole DC thing, but okay. Alright, Final Jeopardy! Anyone can answer this question, but Dolphin, you need to answer it in chat. This one's for double points.
What am I missing?
We're doing Jeopardy.
Oh, this
Dolphin,
one.
you gotta answer this in YouTube chat, and you gotta watch... Alright, just deafen real quick.
I
To make
got
sure you
you.
don't have an upper hand.
This isn't different.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's just leaving VC to make sure. Alright. In 1997, in a 1997 Doctor Who novel, character Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart mentioned Sonic the Hedgehog. However, in the year the story took place, Sonic would have not even existed yet. What year was it?
I would like.
Keep in mind this is for double points. This is basically winner take all. First one to get it right gets it right. Although if all three of you get it wrong, then no one gets the points.
That's it. Or
1988. Oh, not right.
can I say
MJ
it?
still got a big lead. He's just got 1995. That's wrong. That was 4 years after Sonic was made. This is all on Frosty. If Frosty gets it right, he wins it all.
Ryder. Like yeah.
Oh! It was 1989. MJ was
I was
one
about to
year off with his first guess. So MJHW, by a pretty decent margin, is your winner for White Racer 2 Jeopardy.
I was supposed to say
Great job, everybody.
1898.
Great job, everybody. I was expecting Dolphin to just do a clean sweep of the whole house.
That's it. That's everything.
Well, we're going to be moving on to NR 3 now.
Pardon me. Oh.
Oh, crap. Yeah, I'll just put up the BX 3. I accidentally just closed out of Chrome entirely. And let me pull up like the...
I wonder, do you see the Finance of Freedom FNF 2 movie yet or no?
No, I don't plan on seeing it. I'm just gonna probably like know everything I need to know about it through cultural osmosis.
What about Stranger Things?
Not interested in watching that either.
Alright. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. Okay. Oh, give me 1 second.
Alright, opening up NR 2003. I'm probably gonna open. I don't have Steam open right now, so I'll just open it off the desktop. Alright, display capture. And because I'm opening off the desktop, you get to see my wonderful background. Things have been changing way too fast. It's honestly scaring me. So yeah, welcome to NR 2003. So I don't have any races planned for tonight, not as of now. But over the past few months, I have been working on a mock series that takes place in the same universe as Toucan. So everything you're about to see is canon to the Toucan series, by the way. It's also canon to Tokar. It's also based off the canon of Tokar. So you'll see like, yeah, it's just generally like a stupid thing we did. More it's just a thing I did on my own. Dolphin, I think, saw one of the races, and for all the races to watch, he watched the absolutely bullcrap Martinsville one.
I think I did watch the Martinsville one. Yeah.
Scientists are still befuddled by that race to this day. So this all started off with one thing where I wanted to do another live stream on Toucan's channel where we played in our 2003, and what is it? Anyway, sorry. But it sort of spiraled out of control. We were just gonna initially just do a Daytona 500 where I would just where I just had like a bunch of tow car drivers in it as well. And we just like I'd do the Daytona duels off screen, and I just like share my screen to Toucan, and he'd live stream that to YouTube. Eventually, I got carried away and did the Truck Series and Xfinity Series races too. And eventually, we got to the point where I just kept doing the Truck Series and simulated after that, just blown out of control. There's like crazy storylines I'm planning and everything. So yeah, I have all the replays saved. Actually, one of them was shown in the big compilation video that wasn't too long ago. It was the one with Muscle Man giving the invocation. So we got pretty stacked field. Carson Hocevar won the poll.
To your cars.
Robin Hood, if you remember him, he won the Peer Pressure Memorial 400. Just so you know, this is the Robin Hood from Shrek. Raymond Hans, who is outside. Kobe Keith, outside of him. Then Daniel Suarez, David Gutterball, Chase Briscoe, Massive Chris while he was still massive, and Ron Roundback, me, rest in peace, rounding out the top 10. And there's William Byron, Alex Bowman, Mateus, Giggles, Blaney, McDowell, Weed Trimma, Riley Herbst and Spices, Balter, the Balter Ego White, Corey Origami, Kyle Larson starting near the back.
Oh, wow.
Chris the Catherine McCain, Todd Gilliland, John Hunter Nemechek, Martin Truex Jr., Jackie Said, Zane Smith, Austin Cindric, Daniel Suez, Corey Heim, Josh Berry, Noah Gregson, Tim Brown, Peck Arpetti, Ricky Stenhouse, and Anthony Alfredo rounding out the grid for duel number 1. Just so you know, there are no guaranteed spots. All the spots are decided by how you finish here. So a lot of full-time guys can and will get screwed over by this. So let's just go through the highlights because we have a lot of footage of all this stuff. Because, again, all these races were full length. Alright, let me get focusing on the 71 because he was like there when like all the crap started going down. Oh yeah, what was the first caution again? Alright, let's look at Corey Origami here. Because I genuinely forgot what brought up this first caution. Oh, yeah. 2 separate wrecks happened, jeez. Oh, big hits. Alright, Austin Cindric. Yeah. Okay, so he gets into Raymond Hans off. Yeah, turn 2 was the trouble spot the entire weekend for the Cup Series. Well, almost the entire weekend. At least one incident happened there every race. Yeah, he just gets turned. He's able to keep it off the wall, though. Can't say the same for the guys back here. Josh Berry took a whole lot of hard licks. That gets into Jackie Said. That gets into Mateus. And everyone just piles in after that. Nemechek in the 47 gets some pretty big hits there. Kyle Larson. No, that was Peck Arpetti. They just have really similar cars. Alright, let's go back to the 71, because where he was, that's when the crap started going down. If it stops happen. Bit more green flag. So yeah, everyone's in a little breakaway here. Gilliland, McDowell, and Bowman. And then Colonel Caleb Rose tries going inside. They make contact, and the top three just wreck. Robin Hood's collected. Hocevar takes a big hit. The one thing that saved him was already... The one thing that saved Hocevar was him already being in the 500 by winning the pole. If he wasn't already in the 500, he would be out. He wouldn't, like, be out. That was a pretty tough hit. Yeah, his car was junk. I'm really hoping, and that now Gilliland out of the 500 too. I'm really hoping he makes it in next season because he's going to be like one of the big driving factors behind the big plot line that happens around then. Yeah, slaps the outside wall. Gets into Robin Hood a decent amount. Massive Chris took a big shot. Let's go with the Colonel. So after some lap traffic shenanigans, it would be Kobe Keith versus Kyle Larson for the win in duel number 1. He went to the inside, heading into turn 1, last lap. I really gotta get my Daytona package better, because the one I have right now is kind of weak. There's Mateus. Then everyone else started catching up. Kyle Larson got a big run. The Colonel makes it 3 wide. Ron Round back right behind him. Oh, crap. I keep forgetting about that one camera angle, because the thing I downloaded kind of screws up a few... Like, the modified EXE I'm using screws up a few camera angles. And that was basically it. Chase Elliott will come across the line to take the win for duel number 1. Alright, duel 2 was a lot more dramatic. So starting on pole would be the outside pole sitter for the 500, Christopher Bell. Ginger Joe would start to his outside. Following them is Neil Anderthal, Stubbs, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Preece, Derek Jones, Ross Chastain, Connor Zilish, Brad Keselowski, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Dow Nunda, CJ Simpson, Justin Haley, Bubba Wallace, Jimmy Johnson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Asiago, because Bellagio only died here just a few weeks before, Justin Allgaier, Chris Buescher, Cody Ware, Cole Custer, Ty Dillon, Denny Hamlin, James Icup, that's Tristan's Cup, Corey LaJoy, Casey Kane in a 49 self-owned car. I will confirm he will be back for the 500 next season. And Fred Jones making his penultimate Daytona 500 start to the outside. He will be hanging up the helmet after the 2026 Daytona 500. And then rounding out the field, You Can't Hear Me, Harley Quinn, Harvey Quinn, BJ McLeod, Austin Dillon, Reese Ware, Burt Myers, and JJ Yealy rounding out the field. Alright, I gotta find out when that first caution happened, because I'm pretty sure there was just a lot of green flag racing for a while. Alright, I think it was around here. Alright, SVG had a really solid duel. He was, like, up front most of the time. Like, a constant contender. Must have been another backstretch. Oh yeah, Kyle Busch, Cole Custer, Casey Kane. Yeah, another similar incident to what happened to Cindric. What happened to these guys? I think they just lost the draft on their own. So yeah, Busher would inherit the lead after pit stops. BJ McLeod was like constantly fighting for the lead. He never got the lead, but he was always there. Absolute Chad behavior. Am I still streaming? Discord?
No, you're not.
Ah, crap, I forgot. Give me a sec. Fantastic. Fantastic pie chart. That's not even a pie chart. That's not even a pie chart. It's a good graph, okay? Very, very accurate. Lap 43, they're heading to the backstretch. Ty Gibbs makes it 3 wide on SVG and Eric Jones. And, yeah. Gibbs comes out unscathed, but a lot of big damage for a lot of big drivers. SVG would have major damage. Oh yeah, Kyle Busch took a hard lick. Bubba would take some big damage. Same with Eric Jones. But the thing is, they'd still be starting near the front because NR 2003 works kind of weirdly when you don't have racing back to the line turned on. So here's the final 3 laps to see who makes it into the 500. I am planning on bringing the tow car drivers back for the 500 next season, too. Don't worry.
Ooh, that would be sick. Chaotic.
We already had a lot of them but I'm planning on, like, actually, like, having the heavy hitters in with, like, change numbers, like Chunk in the 32, Shaq in the 74, because that's the number his son Miles runs. Shaquille Oatmeal in his son Miles Oatmeal. Shaquille hails from North Korea, very dedicated man to his country. But Miles ran away from North Korea at a young age and moved to Jamaica.
Oh man,
where he can't even Jeopardy. It's so unfair. He also sells weed.
Oh no.
It makes really bad music. So yeah, 23 and 43 falling back, but the 88 was dropping even further. Basically, everyone that was behind him, including Connor Zilish, was basically screwed. Like, I completely forgot how badly Connor got it during this duel. Alright, 1 lap to go. So Bubba and Eric, they're safe. They somehow are able to hold on and make the 500. But we still have a battle for the 4th place starting spot. These two up here are in a deadlock for the first position. Am I loud enough on the stream? I'll have to check real quick. Because NR 2003 historically is a very loud game. Coming to the line. And it would be Busher by just barely.
Dang.
2/200ths of a second to be exact. Yeah, I'm loud enough on the stream, don't worry. Alright, then there was the truck race. The beginning of probably one of the most elaborate things I've ever started. Look at all these replays.
Oh my.
I actually updated some of the paint schemes to match the actual, like, season later on. So yeah, Brandon Jones would be on pole. Timmy Hill starting 5th. Yeah, this was the second most chaotic out of all the main event races. Let's just go forward until something happens. Alright, this is the first caution. I should also mention that in the 44 truck for Nice, there's one change with Nice Motorsports in this timeline. So they are running 4 full-time trucks. The 44 will have a rotating seat of mostly tow car drivers, and me too. I'm in this. Hello. And the 41 is going to be will be driven full-time by Bailey Curry. He'll become important later, don't worry. Alright, so I know it says me here, but I retconned that later on. I found out afterwards they need to be like 18 or older to run like tracks longer than a mile and a quarter. Initially I thought it was just tracks longer than a mile and a half, so I added myself to the roster of Nashville. But it's too late to retcon that because that's already affected the story so much, so... Yeah, so this is Demonde Plywood driving. Fun fact, if you look at his helmet visor, it's him. There he is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this was before he got hired as official tow car foliage. Oh yeah, is this where like that wreck happened? I think it's where that wreck happened. Maybe the next lap. Oh, that was the stage end. That's where there was a caution. All I know is that the 44 was involved. Alright, so let's go look at Keith McGee over here in the 22. So flying down the backstretch, we got Seth Parsons to his outside, Johnny Sauter to his inside. Yeah, a few retcons were made with the roster. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Dawson Sutton's still driving the 25 instead of the 26. In this timeline, the 26 is a part-time entry that is introduced midway through the season for Rackley. That truck will go full-time in 2026 with Dawson driving that, and the 25 will be driven by a TBA driver. Initially, I had it as LeVar Scott, but then he had got announced to drive Xfinity full-time, so...
Gotcha.
Also, just so you know, I saw the news today, I will make sure to not have Chris Wright in the truck roster. The funniest thing is that there was supposed to be like a subplot, like in the Xfinity series, even though I didn't sim the races, where Chris Wright would just get up to general chicanery and just have this like long drawn-out beef with Ryan Sieg, eventually getting so bad that he just gets fired from his team midway through the season. I initially didn't do that because I thought it would be too mean-spirited. But then Chris Wright actually got fired mid-season. And actually, it might have been even more cartoonishly insane, the story in real life compared to the one that I made up. Because Chris Wright was such a freaking battering ram that he ran his team out of business. Like, literally the race after they fired him, the team shut down. Wow. That is hilarious. Like, that's sad for sure, but it's also really funny. Why are people still hiring this man? Why? I know he has big sponsorship, but he is a risk to every single person on the track. Yeah, let's analyze this. Yeah, it's hard to get a good angle of this crash. So let's just go up above the skies. All right, we got another incident heading into turn 2. Yeah, he gets in. Heim gets involved, and the 22 just weight shifts after hitting the wall, flips over. Let's go back full speed. That truck just slides for a while. This one has gone down in the record books as the long one. And eventually the grass breaks his fall, and he gets back on all fours. I was right on board with this. This is like one of the most insane onboards I've ever captured. He was seeing pavement for around like half a minute. Yeah, that was rough. Anyway, I don't think there were any other major incidents throughout the race, so let's just skip to the finish. Last few laps. If you've noticed, I've had the... Oh wait, I forgot that the field split into 2 packs at the end. Because there were like 3 incidents. Oh yeah, lap traffic. I didn't know how to use the disqualification command at that time. So yeah, coming to the line. Caden Honeycutt in the 45 would take the first one of the season.
Nice.
Honeycutt has been like... I want to mention this right now. Honeycutt has been like one of the best guys in the mock series so far. Like, he had a great rookie season, but he's had an even better season in the mock series. Actually, I don't think it was rookie season. I think it's his first full-time season, but he doesn't qualify as a rookie. But even then, he was great in the real series. He's like even better in the mock series. He will not be driving for Tricon next season though in the mock series. That's all I'm saying for now.
Ooh, what's he driving that for? Or is it not announced?
Not yet. But it's gonna be someone real interesting.
Uh-oh.
Just to say, a team that hasn't been in the truck series for a while. And then there was the fairly tame, like the extremely tame Xfinity race. The single most tame race I think I've ever done. Oh, yeah, I still have the replay saved for when I tried like doing the Chris Wright subplot. Yeah, Zilish would be on pole. Bubba Wallace in the 19 starting to the outside. And, yeah, nothing much happened. Zilish won stage 1. The race went completely caution-free outside of the stages. And Zilish was just like, Junior must have put, like, cocaine in, like, the fuel tank or something, because he was, like, on a roll. Oh, we had Joey Gase up front quite a bit near the beginning. Jesse Love was also out there, but then Cesar Baccarella came around. And Cesar Baccarella was actually the guy that won stage number 2. And then it goes, like, right into the end. And most interesting thing happened, like, in the final stint, was Harrison Burton. Alright, let's look at this. Yeah, this basically, like, kind of ruined the end of the race, because it struck out the entire front of the pack. And, Zilch's ratings are way too OP at this time. I toned it down for, like, the only other Xfinity race I'll probably do for this season. Yeah, so on the backstretch, the 25 drops a cylinder in front of, like, most of the pack. And this basically ended his day. And the days of almost the entire of the field. So, it would be a 1-2 for Junior Motorsports as Connor Zilch lets Sammy Smith across the line to take the win at Daytona.
Go, Connor.
So, I should mention, because Connor won this race and won the first stage, and due to Cesar Baccarella winning the second stage, this means that Jesse Love scored absolutely 0 playoff points from this event. Meaning he didn't have those extra points needed to make it into the Final Four. which means in
Oh.
this timeline, Connor Zilish is the 2025 Xfinity Series champion.
W.
The only downside is that it's gonna take a lot more convincing for NASCAR to change the format.
Yeah.
I do have a plot line prepared for that though, because at the current state of NASCAR with like the charters and all that in the Cup Series, it's really limiting for like the creative stuff I want to do. Because I do have an idea for like a storyline that's gonna happen like during the off season. That's gonna be like really goofy. It's gonna happen on stream, of course. And I should also mention that since this is like taking place in the universe of Toucan and Tokar, we're firmly in Fantasyland. This is like insane. This is like insano world. Anything and everything can happen. And then the moment you all have been waiting for, the Daytona 500. It was a bit too much to handle. I'm wondering, does the other one work? I'm wondering if it goes from the start. Oh yeah, it does go from the start. Just so you know, it was an overcast day during the actual like race. So yeah, it's just sunny in the replay because occasionally it like changes the weather for this. So the racing was already immediately off to a much more chaotic start than the first one. There's a lot more three wide going on. Byron's making the pass for the lead on Kobe Keith. And the big thing with this race is that the trouble spot was very much different. So yeah, we got double three wide going on here, and then everything goes to crap in turn 3.
Oh. Dang. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the huge one.
Oh, man.
The single biggest wreck we've had in this probably the single biggest wreck that's happened in the mock series yet. And of course, the Colonel having a tow car level accident. We gotta analyze this. So yeah, they just get into each other off the corner. Yeah, the 9 slid up. He got into Larson. Causes the 59 to spin into the corner. And of course, they're still going like 200 at this point. So everyone else plows in, round back. And they just like shut, and everyone plows in afterwards.
Dang.
Especially the guys in that second pack, they just like start flying in. BJ McLeod sadly was taken out from that. 59 still spins for a lot on his roof. Just straight crowd surfing on the field. And then they wreck again in front. Chase Elliott turns David Gutterball in front of Stubbs. Stubbs somehow avoids most damage. Same with Chastain. Except we just have a big, massive cars back here. Yeah, this was a very, very chaotic race. Riley Herbst surprisingly was doing really good.
Yeah, he looked really good until that wreck.
Riley Herbst, both in real life and in this series, he used literally every single ounce of his talent on this race, and then just like completely forgot what his talent was like for the rest of the season. I remember when the next caution was. Yeah, it was this lap. I think it was another one in turn 3. Oh, yeah, this one.
Oh,
Scubs into Bubba. Same with Neil Anderthal. Scubs
Ooh.
saves it pretty big, but Neil takes a huge hit.
dang.
I heard from his crew chief Fire that that all Neil really could say after that incident was just a big old woo.
Fire?
Yeah, his crew chief is just fire. Just a fire. They just light the crew chief's seat on fire.
Very interesting.
His name is Neil Anderthal for a reason. I also heard his spotter is just rock. Yeah, there's honestly too much to go over in this race. I'll just try and focus on the wrecks. The game bugged out, like, because I threw the caution at the wrong time, and it made it so that only 2 cars were on the lead lap for the final few laps. I think this was stage 1. Yeah, that was stage 1. Alright, this was that was this lap was the second caution. I think I know what this one was. Yeah, I think it was Hocevar. Yeah, Kobe Keith made it 3 wide. Then down the back stretch. Bang! Both cars completely
Hocevar.
totaled. I'm sure in the Discord now, by the way.
Ride the Tente. Ride the Tente.
I don't know why we haven't had Ty Black go in the Hunger Games yet. I don't know why I'm not wearing my Rad the Dente shirt right now. Alright, this was the second caution. This was the next caution, I think. Oh, yeah, the one with Bubba. I'm pretty sure this was like the last incident of the race. Yeah, very similar incident to what happened with Scubs.
Oh. Same
Well,
turn. Wow.
even though the 60 was taken out, at least he had a lot less violent fate than he had in real life. So yeah, final few laps. Yeah, coming to the line, Ty Gibbs tried making a move on the inside. Riley Herbst tried to go for it as well, even though he was a lap. He would be a lap down anyway, even if like the game didn't bug out. And Ryan Blaney would win the 2025 Daytona 500.
Dang.
And look at this finishing order. Tim Brown third.
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown finished third.
Wow.
Needless to say, he'll be back at Daytona for next season. Alright, I'm just gonna look for, like, since we, like, spent, like, a lot of time on just Daytona, I'll just look for, like, the most interesting moments throughout the truck season. Oh, the Las Vegas race. I'll just go through the interesting moments. Like the minor wrecks, I'm not gonna go through that.
Let's go gambling. Oh,
Alright,
dang it.
Vegas. This race was not, there was, like, one specific part of this race that was, like, just hilarious. I was still getting used to, like, how NR2003 worked at this time.
Your cars.
Because, like, there were a few, like, issues. Oh, yeah, and this race had the best finish. One of the best finishes this season, for sure. Alright. Alright. Let's just, like, skip back to, like, when everything was happening. So, green flag pit stops. And Dawson Sutton's staying out for an abnormally long amount of time. Now look at this. Everyone's, like, made their stops. He's on very worn tires. He has lapped the entire field. He's just putzing around, trying to go for as long as he can, trying to make up as much. I have no idea what strategy he was on. I have no idea if he like got a penalty and like pitted earlier. But for some reason, he just like went on for like way too long, trying to pull off the heist of the century. I'm gonna turn down the motion. I'm gonna edit my reshade settings for a bit. Alright, that's better. A lot more minimalist. Yeah, maybe turn up the motion blur a little. So he's still going, by the way. He'll definitely still be going by the time I'm done adjusting everything. Alright, now we're good. Oh, do we really need the motion blur? Oh yeah, there's the leaders that he has a lap down. And eventually, sadly, his gambit did not pay off. He would
Oh, no.
He eventually had to pit. Still, probably one of the best moments in the entire series. Like, you cannot script that. So yeah, we would have a 5-way dogfight for the win. Between Enfinger, Heim, Ankrum, Friesen, and Majeski. But then there would be a caution. And things would get pretty hairy.
No.
Because things would have to go to an overtime restart.
Oh, man.
And here they go. There goes Friesen to the inside. White flag. Matt Crafton tries something inside. Matt Crafton. Stewie says no. He gets a big run off of turn 2.
Stewie.
Also, side note, good to know that he is doing a lot better than that. And the injury he had will not happen in the mock season. He will drive the full season. But anyway, off of turn 4, he would come across the line to take the win at Las Vegas in a crazy overtime finish.
Crazy.
I'd say that was like the third best finish of the season. Alright, and then there's the Martinsville race. Like, obviously, that one was so stupid. Dolphin was there for that. Like, they couldn't stop wrecking. Spencer Boyd should have been the leader by, like, after, like, all those cautions, but the game kept saying Bailey Curry was the leader. The game imploded on itself. Aero 2003 is very janky at short tracks. I learned that very much. It was a mess. So yeah, Bailey Curry ended up getting his first career win at that race. It was, like, too much. Uh, Daniel Hemrick would win at Homestead and Rockingham. Casey Kane would also run the truck race due to reasons. We'll get to that. Alright. What else should we bring up? Oh yeah, the April Fool's incident. I've clicked on the wrong replay. Alright. April Fool's. So our good buddy Eddie the Hat Man, he was feeling bored on April Fool's Day. So he summoned all of our drivers to his little pocket dimensions that he can create. This was before he was like an established character. This is like while he was just a gag, like in Tokar. As just like a person that would show up if you ate too much of Claire's cookies. This was before he became the man himself, Eddie the Hat Man. So yeah.
Eddie the Hat.
Eddie the... First name Eddie the, last name Hat Man. Reigning champion of the Bulldog. Crew chiefs by Calamari Joe and the Golden Corral Mafia. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, yeah. So he would put on 3 challenges. The winner of each challenge would be invited to the final race. And the winner of the final race will get an automatic spot in the second round of the playoffs.
Ooh, all right.
I have no idea who he thought he was, like trying to like screw with the points battle and everything. But he must have gotten clearance from NASCAR to do it. So yeah, first race was at No Walls Daytona. And I tell you what, Caden Honeycutt had the funniest freaking set of races in this. All right, so No Walls Daytona. Yeah, we got an end figure leading the way. So down the back stretch, you're gonna want to see this. There's a wreck in front of him. He gets tagged. Bam! Flies over who knows how many trucks. Gerio just goes completely flying off the track alongside who was in it? Who was in the? Yeah, Everything Bagels. '19 was involved in that as well. He kept it straight somehow. And then they make contact again. And then Andres Perez flies off. It's just general pandemonium. Yeah, Chandler Smith gets launched. Oh my god. Oh, he hit a roof first. Just so you know, no one could get injured in these pocket dimension races, so everyone was fine. Yeah, William Byron would win Challenge 1. The thing that sucks, though, I don't have the replay saved for Challenges 2 and 3, because the game crashed on both of them. The game crashed at the at the end of the first lap at Trenton, which was the third challenge. That challenge was won by Ty Majeski. It ended after, of all people, Caden Honeycutt flew off the cliff. And then Daniel Hemmer crossed the line to win the second challenge at the stunt road. And then the game crashed right as that happened, so I couldn't save the replay. And I really wish I got to save that one, because there was this really funny thing that happened. So yeah, Caden Honeycutt was leading the race, but then Chandler Smith comes out of the pits after the incident, and not after the incident, just an incident earlier in the race, and just plows into the 45, sending him flying off the track. Actually, I think, and that's the thing that allows Hemmer to win, yeah. So yeah, that was nuts. So for the grand finale, they'd go to the tow car version of Kansas with a very, very special rule set. Your eyes do not fool you. That's an entire Truck Series sized field of Chris Wrights. So whoever finishes the highest out of anyone in this group, they don't need to win, they just need to finish higher than the other Chris Wrights. And they win. Also, just so you know, William Byron isn't going for a playoff spot, he's going for an infinite supply of Golden Corral gift cards. Because he's in the Cup Series and he's not eligible for any Truck Series points. So yeah, everything you expect happens. I wonder when I'm trying to remember when the first wreck happened. Oh yeah, right here. Maybe I do it right here. There you go, 4 wide. Everyone's just trying to hold their ground and see how long they can survive in this snarling pack of idiots. Oh yeah, there it was. There they go. Oh. And then they were again in front. So in the end, it would be Ty Majeski leading the pack, not only taking the win of the race, not only taking the challenge, but taking a spot in the second round of the playoffs. He has still yet to win a points-paying race this season. He's been very consistent, yes, and he would make the playoffs either way, but that extra round berth has been really helpful for him because he does not have any playoff points on the grid right now. Yeah, and then that was like right before the Martinsville race, and somehow that was like less stupid than that. All right, Bristol, we just call this one the catastrophe. Yeah, qualifying and practice were rained out, so Mr. NASCAR decided to have a 30-minute practice session before the race began. It did not go well. Who was involved again? I think it was around here. Alright, this is where it happened. Tyler gets into Luke Fenhouse. They both slam the outside wall. And then everything happens from there. Everyone's just getting to each other. Roger Cruz runs into the pit wall. Matt Mills flips. Patrick Staropoli spins. And oh man. Just a lot of drivers having to go to the back of the field due to backups. Just general commotion everywhere. And the race was worse. So, yeah. Let's look at what happened in this absolute shit show of a race that didn't even go the full distance. On lap number 4, we have one of the most brutal wrecks I've ever seen in our Fast and Furious history. With Corey Day over here. Let's look at that again. From an onboard camera. This wreck right here, this is what we call it the catastrophe. No more than just like 10 or so laps later. If we were killing off drivers in this would definitely be fatal. But I do not feel comfortable doing that. So this is just like a life-altering injury. I don't know if we're gonna bring back Tyler Inkerman in any capacity to the mock series after this, but safe to say, he's out for the rest of the season. Definitely longer than that too. So Jake Bowman, the team's ARCA driver, will be driving the 18 truck for the rest of the 2025 season. It almost looked like we would have a Cinderella ending with Tyler's teammate. So NASCAR would shorten the race to the end of Stage 2. And for a brief shining moment, it looked like Tyler's teammate, Connor Mozak, and the 81 would have a shot at the win. Jay Garcia was also up there fighting for his first W as well. Keep in mind, after that last wreck, I showed you, they couldn't stop wrecking for like a decent hour or so. But then, only a few laps later, disaster. He had to pit. He had a tire going down. So, in a really, really cool twist of fate, Jake Garcia would take the win and his first NASCAR dub, but at quite the price. Like, that race unironically hurt me so much. What happened to OBS? Like, it disconnected for a bit. Like, it's like... How long was there, like, a break in the stream? Because...